All right, good afternoon from Washington, D.C. area, Manassas, Virginia. Yeah, so today, I don't know, I didn't have a whole lot going on, and my wife and my kid are out, and I figured I would just do a quick, maybe not quick, but a GA flight, because I did 2 flights last night. I did Phoenix A320, then we did PMDG 738, which was a total disaster of a flight. It was fun, but it was a mess. So I figured let's do this. Let me move, in case anybody pops in, I want to move that chat window just a little bit. I think I like it kind of here-ish, so it's not in the way, but I can see it. And let me do one more thing. I'm still trying to figure out sort of how all this can work together. I don't like having to have the chat popped out like this. But it's the only way I can figure out kind of how to do it, actually. I know this is kind of annoying, but sorry. I want to get it to where I can actually see it. There we go. Good enough. All right. So, yeah, Just Flight, Piper Aero, Manassas, Virginia. We're going to first flight. We're going down to North Carolina, down to Kitty Hawk, Kilo Foxtrot Alpha. This is a flight I've done in real life before. On a day that looks actually really similar to this. Actually, last time I was there, I shot an approach to 2-1 at first flight. So we're on VATSIM, but we don't have any. So we'll just go ahead and monitor Unicom, and we'll try to keep the procedures as realistic as possible. I don't anticipate shooting an approach into first flight. The weather there is pretty good. Last time I was there, actually the weather was good, and then it got it's kind of broken around first flight, like broken around like 2000. It was kind of weird. Clouds just kind of popped up, so I ended up having to shoot an approach. There's an RNAV approach there that I shot. Anyway, I just got the real weather off my phone, off of 4Flight. Winds are 1704, altimeter is 3024 here at Manassas. So we'll use 16 right. We're over here on the west side, the west ramp. My hangar is actually down that way in real life. We're moving soon, hopefully, over to the east ramp. I think this is a freeware Manassas scenery, because they've got the EAA chapter over there. Which is actually exactly how it looks. There's a deck out there where folks sometimes they'll do barbecues in the tower, and then MAM Aviation Services there, and the old Dulles Airport hangar down there, the Dulles Aviation hangar down there where I did my primary flight school training. Anyway, let's get going. So again, in the Aero, so we'll try to do procedures as realistic as possible. So everybody's in, get your seatbelt fastened. We've already gone over the safety briefing with our, we don't have a passenger today. And we're not going to forget to yell clear prop today at the request of Anon Flight Simmer. This is for you, my friend. I would yell clear prop. And if I don't, then you can hit the dislike button and leave a negative comment. Just make sure my flight controls are all set up. Okay, so check, make sure circuit breakers are in. Circuit breakers are in. Avionics master is off. Batteries off. All switches are off. Beacon lights on. Make sure the fuel selector is on. We'll burn it off the left tank. Oh, let's actually make sure that we have gas. Let's see. That would be, that's plenty of gas right there. Yeah, 20 gallons aside, that's fine for this flight. Well, we can just simulate that we've got full tanks, so I hold. Actually, we can just use this and balance it out. There we go. In my aircraft, that's about full tanks right there. So we got one passenger, and hey, that's about what I weigh. I don't know, may weigh a little more than that. I had a big dinner last night, so anywho, let me do one thing. Sorry about this. Just make sure that this thing is kind of where it needs to be. Yeah, now see, I blocked out my. Man, this is just so irritating. I wish there was a plugin that would just let me move that, or pull it into VR sort of natively, but there isn't. So that's what we got to deal with. Cool. All right, so circuit breakers are all in. We can go battery on. Turn on the fuel pump. Throttle is cracked. Go full rich to prime. There's fuel pressure. There's fuel flow. 2, 3. That comes off. That comes off. Throttle's cracked 1/4 of an inch. Clear prop. All right, everybody's clear except for that crazy guy driving that little tug there. So we can go ahead and crank it. All right. Good start. Oil pressure is in the green within 30 seconds, so that's pretty good right there. Let's go ahead and lean this out. Ground operations here. Close our window. Although in reality, I'd have that window open with the little hood scoop up, because that's the only air conditioner that I have except for those 2 little vents down there. Cool. Hey. Avionics on. Let's go ahead and just, this is a simple, it's a simple flight, really, and I'll go over that in a second here. So we'll squawk 2000 altitude reporting's on. That's good. Flight plan is, we are at Kilo Hotel Echo Fox, Manassas, and we're going to Kilo Fox Alpha. First flight. And that's it. Our flight plan just has us going off on the Arsenal 5 departure, fluky transition, and then just direct destination. And that's exactly what I would get. Departure is going to be the Arsenal 5. Runway is going to be 16 right because we're over on the west side. And transition will go fluky. And that's it. So the Arsenal 5 just kind of brings us back around. It takes us out of Dulles airspace, basically. Cool. So let's take a look at that on the map. Gadsy, Casanova, so, and then there's Fluky. Now normally what happens is even before I get to Casanova, I just get clear direct destination. But we'll fly at least out to Gadsy, and then we'll cut it back in to the east of Warrenton Airport there, and that's pretty much how that goes. All right, so let's take a look at the departure. It's pretty simple. It's one I fly all the time. I always get this departure when I'm flying on an IFR flight plan. So basically, going to take off 16 right, climb to 800 feet, and then make a just make a right turn out on the 087 radial, so heading 267 to Gadsy, and then on to Casanova. And then from Casanova, we're going to kind of loop back here to Fluky. But like I said before, I think we'll just give ourselves direct destination. Well, somewhere around here, we'll give ourselves at least direct Fluky. And then on to our destination. So 2,000 at Gadsy, 3,000 at Casanova. And like I said, we don't have any ATC online. So we'll just sort of give ourselves vectors. Hey, Amit. Do I have DLSS turned on? I don't. I tried DLSS and it made everything way too blurry. So I turned it right back off. And I'm on TAA. I'm using the OpenXR toolkit to increase sharpness, stuff like that. Cuzzer, hey man, what's up? Good to see you again. Damn it, I was 9 minutes late anyway. Hello, you didn't miss anything. You didn't miss anything, my friend. Hello, and yeah, just a fun GA flight today. So let's keep going with the checklist here. So basically, airspeed's indicating 0. All right. Now I don't so I have an Aspen EFD 1000 Pro in my Aero. So I actually steam gauges in the Aero are a little bit different for me. But anyway, this is like the aircraft I did my IR on, so I think I can remember. AI is looking good. Altimeters we've already got set, and that's indicating field elevation, which is just a touch under 200 feet. Turn coordinator centered. Let's set our heading bug to 160, because that's going to be our runway heading. BSI is indicating 0 feet. All right. We got Unicom programmed in here. Transponder set. Flight plan is programmed in. And I didn't do anything with the secondary. This is some nice avionics for a Piper Aero, let me tell you. I've got a GNS 430 WAS that hooks up to the Aspen of my airplane, and then I've got a True Track dual axis autopilot, which will simulate here. We can actually get altitude hold using this. This is like a representation of the Auto Control 3 autopilot, which is kind of the old autopilot that you find in a lot of Pipers. But hey, it works okay. And one thing we need to do, hit the suicide switch, get us on GPS mode. So we'll put this in heading mode to start with. We don't have altitude pre-select, so like I said, briefing the departure again, it's going to be 800 feet. And then a right turn out to Gadsby. Gadsby's going to be 2,000 feet, and then we can go up to 3 at Casanova. Let's taxi. All right, watch out, dude. Watch out. All right, he's not going to watch out. So yeah, DLSS. I tried it, and it just didn't work for me. So I turned it back to TAA. So we'll taxi Alpha to 16 right. We're not going to do a run up or anything like that. It's just not necessary. But that's awesome, man. That EAA chapter 186 hangar, that's actually exactly what that looks like at Manassas. That's pretty much what the tower looks like. There's a little playground they have right there for kids, like a little, they actually have the little runway modeled too. There's a little tiny plate runway there. There's MAM Aviation Services. There's a flight school called Piston to Jet that's right there by those trees. That's the old Dulles Aviation hangar. This is a good representation of Manassas. So here we would call up, and basically we would have gotten our clearance by now, and they would have said taxi 16 right via Alpha. So Manassas traffic, Aero Twister through Romeo is taxiing 16 right via Alpha. Nobody's on Unicom, but might as well keep it realistic. I've actually flown out of this airport before the tower has opened and had to make traffic calls. It's kind of fun. It's blurry on DLSS quality too. That's a bummer. Yeah, it's the inside the flight deck or cockpit in this case. The instrumentation is too blurry for me, and I can't sharpen it enough for it to be worth my while. I'm still pretty happy with TAA. The only aircraft that gives me real trouble is the Phoenix. Like Phoenix with what do you call it? You know, Streamlabs running in the background, and you know, on VATSIM, it crushes my frame rate. This DLSS boost FPS if you got an NVIDIA RTX. Yeah, man. Yeah, it definitely gives you more headroom, and you should try it out. I mean, if you find that it is you know, working for you, then that's cool. You know, if you can live with the blurriness, it definitely gives you an FPS boost and some more headroom to you know, maybe increase settings a little bit to more quality. And if you use reprojection, it works better too, but I don't like motion reprojection. I've got that totally turned off. So yeah, man, check it out. I'm on the SU10 beta. So all right, let's Actually, let me check one thing, guys. Sorry about this. I forgot if I have, now that we're talking about. So, oops, not that. Yeah, so I've got, yeah, asynchronous space warp is disabled, so that's cool. Now I need to move this back to where it needs to be. Sorry about all this, guys. There we go. Cool. Manassas traffic. Aorus 1202 Romeo is departing 16. Right, you're going to be departing off to the west of Manassas. Cool. Alright, so let's go. Lights. Camera, transponder set, action, fuel pump on, mixture full rich, prop full forward. That's lights, camera, action. Verify numbers 16 right. Magnetic compass is swinging to 16 and then 16 on the HSI. Oh yeah, this is in knots. My arrow's in miles per hour, so this is fun too. I think we rotate about 60 knots. So we got the set trims just after neutral. Smoothly applying full power. Let's go. Gauges are green. Airspeed is alive. There's 50. There's 60. Let's go. Light back pressure. A little bit of right rudder. Positive rate of climb. Gear can come up. There we go. We're up. So we'll maintain runway heading. There's the parallel runway there. Maintain good rate of climb to 800. At this point, I usually pull the prop back a little bit here. 25. So we don't irritate the neighbors too much. It just gets pretty loud. I like to be a good citizen. Alright. There's 800. We can start that turnout. Keep it coming up to 2,000. Gadsy. Find trim is a little bit touchy in this thing. That's an excessive rate of climb there. Yeah, it's pretty much what the weather looks like here in the DC area right now. That is a crazy climb rate. Let's trim that out a little bit. Pull power back a little bit too. So we need to keep it at 2,000 to Gadsy for the approach. Dulles Airport off to the right. Blue Ridge Mountains ahead of us. My honeycomb yoke is a little bit, I don't know. It's loose or something.
Watch it on traffic Delta 418 on the River Ridge Road.
Alright, so we busted our altitude a little bit, but that's alright. Go ahead and can't seem to trim this off. I'm not sure why. Hang on one second. I'll get to the chat in a second here. Sorry, I'm really trying to... Trim is just not that great, to be honest. It's very touchy. It's not like this in the real Aero. I don't know why we're having issues here. Just trying to get us down. You know what, we'll just go ahead and kind of hold it here. Oh, the autopilot's not on, that's why. We're hand flying it. Alright, so almost to Gadsy. Let's sync up the heading bug here. We can go ahead and Let's use our wing leveler here. Actually, we can go ahead and go nav mode. To Gadsy. I'm kind of new. I bought it a year ago, downloaded it, and I bought a side stick. Why are we going that way? Yeah. Bought a side stick, and since it kind of broke, light stick is. I don't know that one. Anything's better than like a mouse and a keyboard, to be honest. And man, I hear you about it being kind of broke. I'm with you. Power settings are all messed up here. So, once we get to Gadsy, I think what we'll do is we'll clear ourselves direct to Fluky. Let's get some turbulence up here. It's kind of hard to control. Alright, and that's good enough now. We can start that climb up to 3,000. I haven't touched the mixture. I haven't touched the fuel pump or the landing light. So we're good up to 3,000 now. And like I said, let's clear ourselves direct to Fluky. Activate that. And we'll just clear ourselves direct up to 7,000 feet. So let's pop that on. Autopilot should take over now and take us. And we're going to keep an eye on this because I've noticed the autopilot does interesting things here. Like, it should not. Yeah, it's taking us like on an intercept course, and I'm hoping it will bring us back. Yeah, there we go. All right. Alright, so now we're direct Fluky. At this point, fuel pump can come off. Landing light can also come off. Looks like we got some traffic. Oops, landing light is here. And we're going up to... there's traffic off our 12 o'clock there. Going up to 7,000. We can... Oops. Bring the mixture back a little bit here. Lean it out on the climb. I'm gonna head into some IMC here. It's from 2006. Reviews are actually good. Oh, it's Thrustmaster. Okay, so I have a Thrustmaster. What is it? TM 16,000. That's actually what I'm using for my throttle. I've got it over here kind of turn around backwards. It's kind of a weird setup, but it works. And then I use the side stick for Airbus. It's okay. I mean, it works. It works. Like I said, it's better than nothing. You know, it's not the best side stick in the world, but it's better than a mouse. Sorry, let me sync up our course and heading. So this keeps us out of this restricted over here too. That's Quantico, restricted airspace. Yeah, Thrustmaster is okay for the money. I don't mind it. That climb rate though. See, I can't seem to... I mean, normally a real aero, I mean, once you get the trim set, it's just set and forget. We should really be at full power here in the climb. But the trim on this is very touchy. It may be my yoke too. Like I said, the honeycomb, I don't know, it's a little bit loose or something. The yoke shaft needs to be adjusted, I think. Definitely better than Xbox controller, so I can't wait to try it out. Yeah, I mean, I think anything is better. Better than an Xbox controller, to be honest. Alright, so there's Warrenton Airport down there. Oh, I can't see it. So we're going to go into some IMC. This is really accurate weather representation for this time of year. We'll be getting some bumps as we go through these cumulus for sure, so that turbulence may have been a little bit accurate. Let's go outside real quick and see what it looks like. Ooh. That's pretty nice. Classic Piper paint scheme there. There's 5,000. Still ground contact going into IMC. Going to get my head in the panel real quick. Wouldn't be making a lot of rapid head movements at this point, but we're in the sim, so keeping an eye on that AI, and then just doing the scan. AI airspeed indicator, AI altimeter, AI turn coordinator, AI BSI, AI, then back to the DG and repeat, just constantly scanning. Once you lose your scan, all bets are off at that point. All right, breaking out here. Oh yeah, nice. The lovely Virginia countryside passing below us here. Trying to, we can lean a little bit more in the climb here. Gas is expensive last time I checked. 2,500 RPM. I guess this is a decent cruise climb, 100 knots. I don't know. I cruise climb at about 120 miles an hour. So what happened there? What the heck just happened there? What happened there? Are we still direct fluky? All of a sudden I got a magenta line from Casanova. Okay, well, it says we're direct fluky, so. And then a turn off to the east and then a direct destination. Gonna try at those, turn your webcam into a head tracker. Oh yeah, kind of like track IR, but not track IR. Yeah, I actually have a track IR that I used to use with X-Plane, and I liked it. I had a 3-monitor setup when I first started out with X-Plane with a track IR. I actually used that when I was getting my private, just to kind of practice procedures and familiarization with the what was I flying? Oh, the 172. Actually worked okay. I mean, all right, let's keep the climb going here now. Come on. You need to apply back pressure in the turn in real life. Looks like we overshot there a little bit. It's kind of typical for an older autopilot. Smoke detector just beeped. My dog's probably gonna go crazy. All right, so we're almost up to our cruise here. So let's pay attention, and we can start to level off here. And then I'll just engage the altitude hold feature, and we'll just get into our cruise. Alright, altitude hold, 7,000 feet. And now we can do our cruise check. So fuel pump landing light are off. Let's lean the mixture out. Come on. So that should be dropping. I don't want to kill the... What the heck? So that should be... That's not right. Alright, well we want about 10 gallons an hour. I'm not sure why it's increasing as I decrease that, but okay, we'll just leave it right there. Manifold pressure is set. Prop can come back to 2,400 RPM. And that's what I cruise at. 2,400 RPM, and then at this altitude it's just full on. Full manifold pressure, and that's good. And we'll monitor the fuel flow here. We're burning out the left tank, so when that gets down a touch under 20 gallons, we'll switch tanks, and that should be good. Yeah, Sally don't have 3-monitor PC for the best head tracker experience, but I do have an XPS 15, which I play Flight Sim 2020 on. Awesome. Hey man, whatever works. Whatever works. And we're in some solid IMC right now. This is pretty good. Pretty realistic. You can't see the ground. And we're just in the panel right now. Weather should improve as we go southeast. If it's like the real world forecast, which I pulled off of ForeFlight. I'm not sure. I don't. I don't have weather. Normally, if I'm flying this, I'd have my iPad on the yoke here with ForeFlight. I get an X-Rad radar on that just through ADS-BN. For situational awareness, I mean, the data's a little bit old, so you can't use it tactically, but for sort of strategic planning purposes and weather avoidance, it's real useful. So not bad. Well, we're kind of poking along here. 120 knots. What's our speed over the ground? 133 knots over the ground. That's what I flight planned, so that's pretty good. Cool. Get an outside shot real quick here. Not much to see. Just flying through some IMC here. Makes you feel kind of small with all those towering clouds. All right. Microsoft did the best job on deving FS 2020. I love it. People complain about the flight model and how the aircraft handles kind of closer to the ground and ground effect. And I agree with that 100%. X-Plane, hands down, has the best, provides the best sort of platform for developers to, that's epic right there though, to develop aircraft on, and their ground effect is better. But X-Plane can't do that. Give you the immersive feeling of breaking out of hard IMC into this. I mean, that's just, that wins hands down. For overall immersion, MSFS trounces X-Plane, and I hate to say it because I like X-Plane. Everybody waiting for X-Plane 12, you ain't gonna get this. You're just not. I mean, I've seen the videos. I know some people who have the alpha. I don't have it, and if I did, I wouldn't talk about it because of the NDA. But it ain't going to give you this. It's just not, which is a little bit disappointing. Yeah, I agree. It's so realistic. I think I have a couple of videos up there somewhere of the real Aero. I don't know if I have any. I don't usually take videos when I'm in IMC because I'm pretty focused on the panel and my scan. But I can tell you, this is as realistic as it can possibly get in terms of the weather depiction. And people say, oh, well, MSFS is a game, it's a scenery simulator, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. It's all about the flight model for me. That's what really matters in aviation. Well, let me tell you, as a pilot of a small single-engine piston aircraft, the weather is incredibly important. And what you see outside, not only flying VFR, but flying IFR, is a huge part of the real experience, and it is a huge part of the immersion in terms of a flight simulator. So I strongly disagree with people saying MSFS is a toy, because it is just good at simulating scenery. So, hey, WRC Generations, what's up, man? What's going on? Just a little GA flight today, Manassas, Virginia to Kitty Hawk, first flight. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, the ground is a little, maybe, I don't know if you call that oversaturated or what, but I don't know. I heard a little bell icon in the background. I'm not sure what that was, but if that was somebody subscribing, man, hey, thanks. Appreciate it. I just do this for fun, by the way. There are many pro streamers out there. I'm not one of them, man. I'm just a person who kind of likes to fly VR. And honestly, man, I've been flying a lot of, you know, the Phoenix and the PMDG, but I think I prefer flying G8. Hey, thanks for the sub, man. I'll get you back. If you got a channel or something, I'll check you out. Appreciate it though. Thank you. And honestly, I just, you know, I hope y'all like it. I don't do this for, I think I have like maybe 90 subs. I don't do this for any other reason that, you know, pretty much I'm up here doing this anyway. Up here. That's how immersive it is. I keep saying up here. I'm actually sitting on a chair in my office. But yeah, man, I just do this for fun. Trading Pilot. What's up, man? Yeah, you've got a lot of time in small airplanes, and X-Plane and MSFS won't teach you how to fly them in real life. At least MSFS helps with everything else. 1000% agree. I could not agree more. You know, it's fun. I'm with you. I'm a private pilot with an instrument rating, and sort of half of a commercial cert at this point. I took the written. I never did anything with it. I never actually sat for the practical. But anyway, yeah, man, I like to do this for fun, and it kind of helps with not proficiency, but just kind of staying in the game when I can't fly. Example, so I have an Aero. It's a 69 Aero. It's a little different from this Aero 3, but I've got one partner in it, and we work out schedules and stuff like that. Long story short, I mean, he took it to Ohio today, actually yesterday, and he's there today. So, you know, today's the day I'd go up and fly for real, especially Labor Day weekend. Probably head out to the beach, out to Ocean City, Maryland, or actually maybe down to First Flight. But can't fly in real life. Got nothing else to do today. You know, why not just pop in kind of a representation of the Aero and just have some fun, right? Thanks, man. Jeez. I don't know what to say to that, but thanks. WRC, yeah. I tend to talk a lot when I fly, even offline. So this is sort of just me stream of consciousness. And honestly, it's kind of cool to have some folks. I figured out finally how to get this chat window in here. Cuzzer, you got to go. Oh, no problem, man. Hey, thanks. Yeah, thanks. I'll send you a heads up if you want. I mean, next time maybe I'll try to plan something out if you want to hang out, and you know, maybe we'll pick another place to go. But yeah, thanks for stopping by again. Hopefully this is better than last night. Oh my gosh, last night's flight to LAX was fun. Check out a couple of moments from that video. I ended up, oh man, great flight, Phoenix, LAX, and then they switched, you know, they switched arrivals on me, which is fine, no problem. You know, I can handle that. They switched runways on me, and I ended up just being, it was super busy, and it wasn't the controller's fault. It's hardly ever VATSIM ATC's fault. But I got task saturated up here, you know, in VR with that Phoenix. You know, I got the programming in right. But then I ended up just being way too high on the approach. And I did a go around. And honestly, I say it was a terrible flight. It wasn't. It was a go around. It was safe. Went around. ATC was awesome. Getting me back to, I think it was like 2.5 right or something. So yeah. It's close enough to scratch my itch of flying, Trading Pilot. Yeah, no doubt, man. Exactly. Yeah, we can't fly in real life. Just pop in the sim, especially in VR, and just, you know, experience it. So RFS flying, 1 like. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the like. That's awesome. I hope this is mildly entertaining. I don't know. It's fun for me. And honestly, with the chat, with y'all in the chat and stuff like that, it's actually even more fun because it's like I got some people to talk to at least. I fly Riga, Tallinn, and Baltic states. Oh, Riga or Riga? Yeah. Oh man, refresh my memory on geography. Is it Croatia? No. It's the capital of what? Oh man, that's killing me. Sorry, man. Where is that? I do fly over in Europe sometimes on VATSIM. Hey, real quick, let me do a fuel check. We're burning off the left. I didn't set a timer. Normally in real life I'd set a timer, but I have a hard time actually accessing the timer here. So let's do a fuel this tank change. So procedure, fuel pump comes on, just making sure we've got fuel pressure, fuel flow. That looks good. Switching right. Making sure we still got fuel flow, fuel pressure, both looks good. Now we're off the right tank. Fuel pump comes off. Good to go. So now we're burning off the right tank just to keep things balanced out. I think it's been about 30 minutes. I don't know. But yeah, man. So let's take a look here at our... man, this is awesome. I wish I had a GTN 750 in my Aero. Huh. Yeah, there we go. So it's just direct. Keeps us out of the restricted, which... Oh, or did it? Did we fly through? Whoops. Yeah, no, we're good. This is restricted airspace right here that you need to be careful of. Now we're on a flight plan, so and we're flying IFR, so we'd be okay. But we're good. Let's see here. We don't need you. We don't need the departure plate up. We can kill that. And honestly, we're gonna be VFR at first flight, so that's gonna be cool. Let's get rid of you and let's pull up the map so we can see kind of where we are. Yeah, we got a ways to go here. Rappahannock River down there. Hey, there's traffic, some VATSIM traffic. I don't know what that is. You see that off our 9 o'clock there? I don't know how that's coming through on the stream, but we got traffic. I don't have the paid version of this, unfortunately, or else you'd be able to see traffic. But I have the free version. It's the PMS 50, so that's cool. So yeah, hey, let me check something real quick. Sorry, I got to go back to the desktop here. I constantly am making sure that this is active because otherwise it tends to do weird things. So if we put that right there, maybe I can see it a little bit better. Actually, that's a lot better. Yeah, cool. I wish, and if there's any developers that ever are watching this, if you want to make an epic plugin for Flight Simulator, make something like Move VR for X-Plane, where you can just natively pull in a desktop window, like a Windows desktop window, into VR, and then position it. Like right now, like I can't move this around. It's Oculus is doing this, and it's awesome because I can see it, but I can't manipulate it. So anyway, cool. Let me get a sip of this real quick. It's a little early in the afternoon for anything other than a nice sparkling water here. If it was evening, it might be a nice cold beer, which is another benefit of flying in the flight in VR on Flight Sim you absolutely can't do in real life. You could have a nice cold adult beverage up here. But anyway, if that's your thing. Honestly, there's nothing more relaxing for me than finding some good VATSIM coverage. Maybe after my kid went to bed, wife's off doing something else, just kind of pop in here and fly like the 738 or the 320. Just do a quick, like less than 2 hour route. Anything longer than that, my head starts to get a little sore from wearing the headset. Although it is pretty comfortable. I've got the I forget what head strap mod thingy I have. It's not the official one. It's the one, Kiwi something, maybe the one a lot of people have for the Oculus Quest. Man, it's just pretty comfortable. Excellent. So in terms of descent planning, I guess let's talk about that a little bit. Last time I checked, winds are favoring 3, so we'll just enter a left downwind for 3. I think it's left traffic. If I remember correctly, it's just standard traffic pattern. So left downwind for runway 3, and we'll just come around and land, and then we'll have to taxi back, unfortunately, because the parking, the apron is here, and there are no taxiways. It's a great airport. At first flight, it's really cool. It's owned by the U.S. National Park Service, and I think about a year, maybe 2 years ago, they repaved everything. I mean, it's beautiful. The surface is excellent. The apron, parking apron is great. I don't think they have tie downs, but they've got a lot of parking. You can stay for 24 hours. So what I did is last time I flew down there, my buddy and his family had a beach house at Nag's Head, which is it's all the same. Kill Devil Hills, Kitty Hawk, Nag's Head. So I flew down there and they picked me up. We toured around the monument and the museum there at first flight. And then had lunch, went back to their house, went to the beach. They had a house right on the beach. Sat out there, had some dinner. I spent the night, and then they drove me back the next morning, took off, and flew back home to Manassas, Kilo Hotel Echo Foxtrot. It's just where my home base is, and it was awesome, man. It was a good day. Yeah, man, so good stuff. This is so realistic, though. It blows me away every time I'm up in this airplane, in this sim. I mean, I've got to get a GoPro for the Aero and actually take some in-flight video. I mean, I'll take some video off my phone sometimes, but it's usually like 30-second clips. So anyway, we're talking about the descent planning before I got distracted. Yeah, we're at 7,000 feet. We want to get down to, this is sea level, so we want to get down to 1,000 feet. So we need to lose 6,000 feet of altitude. So in my Aero, I use it's kind of like you use the rule of 3 for airliners. I use the rule of 5. It's altitude to lose times 5. So 30 miles out, we'll start the descent. And that'll give us a good 500 feet per minute rate down the whole way. We are on VATSIM, like I said. I'm going to refresh this. Yeah, we got nothing. Looks like Atlanta's online, but this is Washington Center's FIR here. This big missing chunk of. Oh, it'd be cool if they popped online. But yeah, we got no coverage, which is, it's Saturday afternoon. Everybody's probably watching college football right now. I lost interest in college football last night after Virginia Tech got beat by ODU. Season's already over before it started, or as it started. Anyway. Now we're looking 2,400 RPM, manifold pressure is all the way in, autopilot set, gauges look great, fuel is looking balanced, and we're burning it off the right tank, 7,000 feet, and speed over the ground of 132 knots. That is bang on. I think I flight planned at 133, so somebody did a good job of flight planning. Let's take an outside view real quick. Yeah. That's just beautiful. Air-to-air shot. Of course, if this was an air-to-air shot, I would be looking directly at the plane doing the photography. That pilot's just kind of looking around, supposed to maintain, visual with the plane doing the photography. It's funny, sometimes you see these air-to-air pictures where the pilot's just kind of looking around or something. It's like, nah, you're supposed to be looking at the guy taking the pictures. Anywho. How's the stream looking? Is it smooth enough? It's pretty smooth here. I don't know. What's the stream looking like on y'all's end, if anybody's still watching? I know there's a little bit of a lag just because of, I guess, either Streamlabs or YouTube. There's a little bit of a delay. But hopefully it's at least kind of smooth in terms of, frames and just overall smoothness on the stream. Excellent. Let's go back here. Where are we? Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, right now I'd probably have some music on. Some good flying music. I don't know. What do y'all like to listen to when you fly? I've got a bunch of stuff downloaded on my iPhone. I just Bluetooth into the headset in the cruise. Oh, man. Actually, speaking of that, let me pop up my... Let's get... I got 4Flight on my phone here. Let me just get the weather again at first flight. What do we got? Was it 4 minutes ago? 070 at 5, clear below 12,000, 29 degrees, 3022. 070 at 5, 3022. 3022, and it's 070, 5 knots. .3022 on the altimeter. Can I open up Netflix or something in a window in VR? Yeah, yeah, you can actually. Oops, I almost dropped my controller. I almost did it again. Sorry, hang on one second. I'm having some... That's one thing in VR. It's hard to keep track of where your stuff is. The answer to your question is yes, you can. If you use, if you have a Rift like I do, you can. And here's how you do it. And this is going to break the immersion a little bit, but that's all right. So you go to the, you go to the desktop window that you want to pull something in. For example, I've got the chat pulled in here, and you go, you go here to this little plus, add desktop panel, hit that. And then you can pull up a window. Like if I want to pull vPilot in, I can do that. And then I can pin it to the desktop. And I can grab it and move it and resize it and stick it somewhere. I want to put that here. And then go back into the sim. And now I've got vPilot in there. Now, one thing, see, I can't move it once I'm back in Flight Simulator though. But I mean, if you're okay with just having it there and I can't click on anything, if that fits your needs, then yeah, you could. And then to move it, you can just, you pop out and then you can, move it around and stuff like that. I'm gonna unpin that oh, I don't want to close it. I hope that didn't close it like in the desktop. No, it's still up and running. So, but yeah, that's how you do that. Like for example, now I've got this kind of off where I want it. So I'm gonna move it back here and then pop back in. And that's that. So yeah, that's how you do that. RFS Flying, hey, what's up, man? I might finally get back to long distance flying. That's amazing. Yeah, it's I actually don't do that. I don't do too many long hauls in VR. The only one I did was cross the pond in X-Plane in the SSG 748. But I kind of cheated. I started the flight in VR, got the clearance, all that, and I was off to Shannick Radio. Once I got on to Shannick Radio for the Nat track crossing, I actually popped out of VR and just kind of went and did some other stuff and monitored. Made some, I don't think I even had to make position reports. And then when I got back to, I got across westbound to Gander, Gander control. Then I popped back into VR and did the rest of the flight in VR to Philadelphia and landed. It was epic. But no, I didn't spend like 8 hours with the headset on. It hurts my neck after a while, to be honest. It's not the headset being uncomfortable. It's just the weight on my neck. I've got not a bad back or anything, but man, just sitting for that long, it just hurts. Just done flying from Riga to Tallinn. Awesome, man. How was that flight? Did you fly? Is there a VATSIM event over there? I know across the land was this morning. I thought hard about it. Like last night after I did that flight to LAX, it was so late and I actually didn't have a slot, but I kind of looked at some open slots, but they were all closed down for booking anyway, so I didn't do it. Then I was kind of kicking myself because I had nothing to do this morning. I could have gotten up kind of early and just done cross the land. I love flying in Europe on VATSIM. I think the controllers, the controllers in the U.S., actually all over the world, are epic and awesome and do such a fantastic job. But there's just something about flying in Europe. It's just, I don't know, civilized or something. Procedures just all kind of link up, and it's just everybody's incredibly professional. Pilots, VATSIM pilots are so professional, and they are in the U.S., and then the controllers in the U.S. are incredibly professional. But recently I've noticed, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but the pilots, maybe the newer folks, have not taken the time to learn their aircraft and maybe learn procedures enough, and we've gotten a lot of missed instructions, not following instructions or procedures. So anyway, yeah, I am. I'm a pilot in real life. I'm not a Part 121 or ATP. I'm a private pilot with an instrument rating and half of a commercial cert. Like I said, I took the commercial written, actually aced it, but then I haven't done anything with it. So I'm just a for fun pilot, just to go from point A to point B, take some cross countries, take the family different places. But so yeah, I own with a partner a Piper Aero, a 1969 Piper Aero that we keep at Manassas, where we departed from here on this VR flight. So yeah, I am, and this is very comfortable. Like this is like real life for me. Except I don't have I have a GNS 430 WAS, not a 750, but I do in my Aero. I have an Aspen EFD. Was it Pro Max 1000? I think it is. Anyway, it's an electronic flight display with AI, HSI. It gets nav data from the Garmin and it's a little moving map. And I have I'm pointing on the panel here. Here I have a dual axis autopilot in the Piper. So yeah, it is. It is pretty cool, man. I don't know. I feel real fortunate to have been able to get my private and get my instrument rating, and to be able to exercise the privileges and fly when I can in real life. Every time I do it, I know that it's an absolute privilege. And I made some sacrifices to be able to get the plane. We actually got a really good deal on it. It's in great shape, low time. We got about 3,000 hours on the engine. Not on the engine, I'm sorry, on the airframe. So it's a really low time, great condition Piper. My partner's flying back from Ohio in it right now. But yeah, I feel real humble and really fortunate to be able to do that. It's a hobby, anyway. And it's even cooler that we have a sim now that it gives you such an accurate depiction of what it is like to fly in real life. Like this is real right here. I mean, this is, this is exactly what it looks like flying, over, in, and around Cumulus. Like this buildup right here, I wouldn't be asking for diversions for this, but I would be telling my daughter if she was sitting next to me, it's like, hey, hold on, it's going to get a little bit bumpy. We're flying around this buildup right here. Actually makes me brace a little bit when I'm doing this. I know that I'm not going to get bumped around, but it's like, all right, we're going to get bumped here. And this is the kind of IMC that I love. I mean, I'll fly hard IMC. That's fine. I don't enjoy it or seek it out like some pilots do. In a single engine piston, even though the plane is fully capable and I'm capable and proficient and current, that's great. But I sweat a little bit when I'm in hard IMC for long enough. I mean, you really focus. It's taxing, even with full automation. Autopilot's on, navigator's doing what it's supposed to do. I clench a little bit. This kind of IMC, man, when this isn't even, not in IMC right now, but flying close to, in and out of clouds. I mean, that's what it's all about. Especially in a small plane like this. I mean, you really get a sense for how small you are in the world when you're up here amongst all this. So, anyway, where are we? So Richmond, over there somewhere. I'm not sure which airport that is. Richmond Exec, maybe now. Richmond Exec's closer to Richmond, which is farther off to the northeast at this point. Richmond Exec, great barbecue, by the way. So what is it? FCI, Kilo Foxtrot Charlie, India. How are we looking on fuel? Yeah, we're pretty balanced here. I think we might switch tanks closer to Norfolk. How many miles we have left to run here? 107. I always forget what display I have up here. This is pretty cool. You can actually change what you see here. Yeah, change fields. But I'm not going to do that. It's pretty accurate. I think that's the real 750 lets you do that too. And this is a 650 here. I mean, this is some expensive stuff in this Piper Arrow. These avionics probably cost more than what we paid for our Arrow. I was watching the promo stuff for X-Plane 12. By the way, it looks really great. It looks great. Yeah, it does. It does. I checked out that new video they popped up there. It's like a 10-hour time lapse flying around in Austin's. What's he got? Lance Air. That looked pretty cool. I think my expectations are a little high. I don't want to be disappointed. I think the weather looks better. The lighting looks better. I love the rain and sort of the weather effects look great. Even the terrain, the stock sort of auto-gen terrain looks pretty good. So yeah, I'm wondering when that thing's going to come out. I was sort of thinking maybe they would release it like yesterday in time for Labor Day so people could really bang on it and pop in bug reports and get hype around it. But I guess they haven't released it yet. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. I subbed last night to your channel. Yeah, you've got a bunch of JB Gaming. Yeah, you've got a bunch of like ATS stuff up there, right? Yeah. Oh man, I went through a phase back in the fall, like this whole ETS in VR kick. I couldn't get enough of it. It was just so fun. Upload video. Yeah, you can pop. I think you can pop a link in the comments. I need to tighten up the. I don't have any controls over what people put in the comments or the chat. So I think I might need to tighten that up. I had some just nasty comments pop in last night that really, it almost wrecked my night, to be honest with you. During one of those streams, I had to block and remove them. It was just, ugh. Some people, man. Anyway, ATS content. Yeah, exactly. You know what? I'm going to check some of that out tonight, man. Maybe pop in the living room, watch a little college football, and pop up some of your ATS streams, dude. Yeah. I don't know that... JB Gaming, yes, I'm pretty sure you can, because I did VR with ETS, so yeah, it's the same game. Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say yes, you can. In fact, it was seamless. Getting it to work with ETS was no big deal at all. It's like there's a toggle. You just switch into VR, and like boom, you're right there in the cab of, what was I driving? A Scania. I think I had bought I earned enough money to buy like a pretty nice Scania. Anyway. Amit, yeah, Austin's enthusiasm, Amit. It's crazy how enthusiastic that guy is about X-Plane and about just aviation in general. I mean, I wish I had that passion for my day job. I mean, I like my day job, but oh man, that guy, he lives for it. Like, I don't know. Does he have a family? I wonder, because I think he probably just spends all of his time like coding, which is awesome. JB Gaming, does it look nice? ETS2 in VR looks amazing. I mean, I don't drive a truck. I mean, I drive a car, and yeah, it looks oh man, it looks amazing. It got a little repetitive because I think I played it too much. Got a little bit repetitive, but yeah, it's epic. Trying to back the trailer in VR, oh man. I have a racing wheel and pedals, so that helped. I have the Logitech, I don't know, that combo that everybody has. And yeah, it's epic. You know what else is epic in VR that I got into a little bit is Assetto Corsa in VR. It made me sweat. It was so incredibly realistic that it made me sweat. Even taking some of the lesser cars around those tracks, I'm like, oh my god. I am from the U.S. JB Gaming, yes. I'm from the Washington D.C. area. Yes, I am. Yeah, man, G20, yeah, G27. I think that's the one. It's the one. Yeah, like force feedback, pedals, wheel. Yep, exactly. I don't think it's. I mean, I'm not a racing sim guy. I mean, I enjoyed Assetto Corsa and I enjoyed ETS. But the word on the street on that wheel and pedals are it's pretty good for the money. And I agree, man. It was pretty cool driving around in those trucks. It makes me just kind of giggle just thinking about it. Maybe I'll get back in there. Maybe I'll try a VR ETS stream. Figure out if I can get that to work. You got the Logitech G27, yeah. Yeah, man, I think that's the one I have too. Like I said, it was good enough. Where are we at? 193 track miles. Oh, cool, man. I was born in Pennsylvania. Awesome. My dad lives up around Reading, Pennsylvania. Spent a lot of time up there. Actually, I was just up there about 2 weeks ago. I've flown to Pottstown. November 47 is the airport that I fly into when I go to visit him. Right by, what's that nuclear power plant? Limerick. When you fly to Pottstown, again, it's November 47 is the airport. You fly like real close to the cooling towers of this nuclear power plant. It's, yeah, it's pretty cool. Some great flying around there. Lancaster's a great airport, real active pilot community there. Reading's a good airport to fly into. They do an awesome air show at Reading. A bunch of warbirds every year come in there and big air show. I should try Automobilista 2 in VR if you get the chance. It's like the best in terms of immersion. All right, man. I'll check it out. I'll get it on Steam. I'll get that on Steam. All right, into some IMC. Like I said, now here my head would be in the panel. There's no way I'm whipping my head around, but look at chat. What kind of plane is this? This is Piper Arrow. This is the Just Flight Piper Arrow 3 from Just Flight. Look at, I mean, that, whew. Y'all, this is exactly what it looks like. This is exactly what it looks like in IMC. Got a little bit of ground contact there, but not much. In and out of it, kind of losing contact with the ground. I can't tell you how absolutely real this is. I mean, look at that. You can get a little bit now. We're breaking out. You can see some of the sky and the clouds in the distance. This is where pilots get disoriented. This is what kills either non-instrument rated pilots or pilots that aren't proficient with instrument flying in IMC. You start whipping your head around and get the leans and get disoriented and start watching that AI start to tumble, and then you think you're turning one way but you're not, and you try to correct the wrong way, and then you end up in a graveyard spiral and tighten the turn, and that's it. Either the airplane breaks up in mid-flight before you hit the ground because you've overstressed it and exceeded VNE, or you hit the ground and it's bad. Anywho, IMC, instrument meteorological conditions. Flying in the clouds, basically. IMC is what we just did back there before we broke out of those clouds. That was IMC. VMC is visual meteorological conditions. So if you're not on an instrument flight plan, you're not flying IFR, you've got to stay basically stay out of the clouds. 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, 2,000 feet side to side if you're in class Echo airspace, and some other kinds of airspace that changes as you get above 10,000 feet and things like that. But yeah, if you're not on an IR flight plan and you don't have an instrument rating, you need to stay out of IMC because it kills. I think that's the #1 killer of you know, pilots is they call it you know, VMC into IMC, basically visual conditions into instrument conditions, and then you get disoriented and you lose control. Yeah, JB Gaming, yeah, man. I mean, I've had my arrow up to 10, but have I had it? I think I had it to 9. I was going eastbound. Coming back from playing golf in West Virginia, I had it up to 9,000 to get over some weather. I was on a flight plan. I was on an IR, you know, IFR flight plan, and I had my arrow up to 9. I don't like to fly. I don't even like to fly that high, to be honest, just because of just the threat of hypoxia. I mean, you don't have to be on oxygen until you're at 12,500 feet for more than 30 minutes. Then you need to be on oxygen. And it's if you're above, I should know this for my BFR, but if you're above, I think it's 14.5, you need constant supply of oxygen. So yeah, I think the service ceiling on our Arrow is, I don't want to say it's 13,000, 12,000, something like that. But yeah, I mean, what happens if you start out VFR weather changes in IMC or something? Yeah, good question. If you hadn't filed a flight plan, if you're just going VFR, and you have not filed a flight plan, and you think you're going to go into IMC, if you're an instrument rated pilot, you can call ATC and ask for a pop-up IFR clearance, which they'll generally give you, and then you're good to go, just like you're on an IFR flight plan. If you're a non-instrument rated pilot and or the plane is not instrument capable, you need to turn around. You need to turn around and go back the other way. You need to find a place to land. You need to stay out of the clouds. It's illegal, for one. I mean, it's against the FAR. I forget which one. You know, but more importantly, it can kill you if you're not instrument rated and proficient, and if the plane isn't capable of the right instruments. So yeah, JB, you do. Hypoxia is the real deal. Some people get hypoxic even at lower altitudes, especially at night. You can get hypoxia as low as, I want to say, 5,000 feet. For some reason, flying at night. And the problem with hypoxia is you get euphoric, just due to the lack of oxygen to your brain. One of the symptoms is euphoria. So you start to feel really good. It's like, hey, I feel pretty good up here. When in reality, your brain is being starved of oxygen. And then, once you get too hypoxic and your pulse ox goes down too low, you pass out. And that's not a good thing, to pass out as doing single pilot ops. Pass out. Your automation may still be on, but I don't want to pass out. So yeah, oxygen, absolutely. And pilots that do fly that high, like I got a buddy that flies an RV10, and he flies high. He actually, I think, flies not quite to the flight levels, but he carries oxygen just in a tank, like an oxygen tank you see for people that need oxygen. And he's got it's called a cannula. It's that little thing that sticks in your nose. So he'll pop that on when he's flying up that high in his RV. Some aircraft come equipped with built-in oxygen, like I think the Cirrus, some of the like turbo Cirruses have oxygen and you've got, like, up here, there's two little hoses that come down, and sometimes for the passengers too, they've got little hoses that come down. You can stick them in your nose and breathe off that if you're up there. All right, let's see. We've got still 75 track miles to run. I guess we're approaching the Norfolk area at this point. So this is so realistic. I was in a plane and I was way, way, way above clouds. Yeah, I mean, airliners obviously, go up there, but they're pressurized, so you don't need to worry about oxygen up there. Those are pressurized aircraft. I mean, even some single engine. I guess Pilatus is a single engine plane. I believe that's pressurized. PC-12. Propeller planes are pressurized, usually turboprops. You get a pressurized, what is it, the Cessna, the 208P, I think is the pressurized version of that. But again, I think that's a turbine. Like with I don't know a lot about turboprops. Although, one thing I do know is there's a new King Air mod coming out for MSFS. I forget, is it Black Box who's making it? It looks epic. I just saw a video of it. The stuff they've done, it's like they made a steam gauge panel, but they've modeled the system depth to, like, I guess what we would call study level, and I'm using air quotes. So that it's got, like, every switch, every circuit breaker works. And I think it's a C90. Because I really miss X-Plane flying around in the, the JP EVO mod for the default King Air. I used to fly that thing all the time in X-Plane. I think the stock, the default King Air for MSFS is pretty bad, actually. Like, nothing's modeled. 71 miles. What do we say? We're going to start down. I'm going to call it at 35 miles out. We'll start our descent. So yeah, I mean, planes fly above the clouds all the time. Even small planes, if clouds are low enough. Like, sometimes if there's a low layer, that's a good thing for an IFR pilot to do. That's like MVFR. Clouds are maybe overcast, 1,500, 2,000 feet. Get an IFR flight plan. You basically punch up through the layer, and then it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, you're above the layer. Hopefully you didn't forget your sunglasses because it was cloudy on the ground, but once you pop through the layer, it's just brilliantly sunny, and you're wishing you brought your sunglasses. Man, that is just amazingly amazing. Yeah, so that's Norfolk off there. So that's the Bay. Is that the bridge tunnel, maybe? No. Let's zoom it in. My geography's not very good, apparently. Okay, yeah, Hampton. I've seen some concerts at the Hampton Coliseum back when I was a young man. I installed I installed FSX last week on my old laptop. A bit of nostalgia. I never used FSX. Hey man, whatever scratches the itch. And I'm sure, yeah, that probably runs just fine on a laptop. So this is kind of cool. I think First Flight is one of those airports that Microsoft has modeled, like, with extra detail or something like that. Like, maybe I think they've got the monument and stuff like that. So maybe we'll check that out after we land. I'm gonna get one more check of the weather here off my phone, folks. Sorry about this. Oh, my partner just texted he's back. Okay. Thanks. My partner just got back from Ohio. He said the plane's all yours if you want to use it. Huh. Well, interesting. Maybe we'll... That's tempting, man. It's a nice day out there. All right, back in here. First flight. Wind 050 at 3. Still clear below 12. Temperature's 29. Oh, beautiful day out there today. 3021. So 050 at 3 and 3021. Perfect. 050 at 3. 3021 on the altimeter. We don't need that anymore. Sorry, 1 second here. I'll get back to the chat in a moment. Oh, I may just pop out to the airport. Oh man, that's tempting. Because I told him I was going to fly tomorrow, and I told him, I texted him saying, hey man, don't rush back. My kid's got a golf thing tomorrow I got to go to. I want to go to. But anyway, what was my first sim? X-Plane. I mean, okay, all right. My first sim, I wasn't even really into simming. I don't know. I think it was it called Jet? I'm old. So I'm not old, but I am old enough to have played. I think it was called Jet, maybe Microprose, and it was like 1984. So, and then I messed around with Flight Simulator. I don't know what version it was in like the early 90s on my parents' computer. But then I wasn't really into simming until kind of recently. Maybe whenever X-Plane 11 came out. X-Plane 11 was pretty new, and a buddy of mine at work was really into it. And he's like, "Hey man, you like aviation? Blah blah. You got to check this out." So I did, and that's how I really got into it. And then I got into VR and just kind of made it my hobby. So cool. So yeah, we still got a ways to go. Let's take a quick outside view. Looks pretty nice. All right. Hopefully this isn't too loud. Oh no, it's not that loud. That is just so cool. So y'all were asking about side sticks and stuff like that. So I actually have my side stick next to me, even though I'm flying with a yoke, and I control the outside views with the side stick. Holy cow, whoops. Sorry, I'm not very good at controlling the view. That is really cool. Darn it. Sorry. Look at that. That's just really cool. I thought I picked a different livery. It's kind of like my livery on our Aero, except the gray is blue. If you replace the gray with blue, it's pretty much, and the stripes are gold. It's kind of a classic Piper paint scheme. Anyway. Cool. Yeah. That takes me back. It makes me feel a little bit older than sometimes I think I am. All right, what are we doing here? Might want to start paying attention. We still don't have ATC, which is fine. We got to plug VATSIM radio again, guys. If you're doing VR flights with VATSIM, you have to get this. It's called VATSIM radio. It's free. I mean, you should buy the guy a coffee. He's got like a donation link up there. But it's totally free. It's still kind of in beta, but this gives you all of the ATC frequencies. You can, I'm not sure why Doha's up there. That's maybe a little bit of a bug. But if I wanted to tune Atlanta, I could just click on this frequency. Now we got Atlanta Center. Oh, looks like that's not working. Click to restart server.
Atlanta Center, American 45 is with speed descending through 21.
So now we got Atlanta Center on. Ask what my day job is. Yeah, I'm in IT. I work on IT systems, basically systems that. Hang on a second. Let's go back to Unicom. 1 second. Oh, I can't get Unicom back in there. Huh? There must be a little bit of a bug with that. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you my day job is in a second here. Is it 122 point? Yeah, I guess you'd kind of call it an enterprise architect for insurance and financial systems. Basically, like systems that manage pension plans and 401k plans and group insurance and stuff like that. So IT stuff. That's what my day job is. Not as fun as if my day job was flying a 737. But that ship has sailed. Too old to be, well, in my personal circumstance with my family, I am too old to switch careers to becoming a pro pilot. And it just wouldn't fit with my, just with my family schedule and our routine, or I wouldn't want to be, away from home at this point. Starting out with the regional and not getting to pick my base. Anyway, I thought about it a couple of years ago, but it just doesn't fit. So, anyway. Oh, cool. You're an IT too as a backend dev. Cool, man. What like what are you programming? Are you using like Node for like backend stuff? Node, C++, C#, Java, Python. What's your language of choice? Mine was way back in the day, C++, and then C#. And actually, I don't do any actual development anymore. I kind of miss it. Doing a lot of stuff with, I mean, not hands-on stuff, but just architecture for like AWS, stuff like that. So anyway, I don't want to talk too much about it. People start to tune out. But it's fun. It's a good job. It allows me to do some, fun stuff outside of work. So I like to fly. I used to like to play golf. My daughter's big into golf now, so all the golf energy goes into her at this point. She's really good. So that's a little bit about me. IT's obviously, in general, a good field to be in. Development, cyber, security. Oh my gosh, that's huge. You're a senior dev now, so you got a varied stack, mostly Java. Oh, Go. Okay, yeah. I don't know a lot about Go. Node, yeah, Node is huge, man. JavaScript, Node. Did some stuff with the mean stack a while ago for an application that we were building. Just kind of prototyping. Anyway, 48 to run at this point. Need to start thinking about fuel, and let's do a fuel tank switch. So fuel pump on. Fuel pressure and fuel flow are good. Back to the left tank. Fuel flow is still good, 10 gallons an hour. Touch under 10 gallons an hour. Fuel pressure is good. Fuel pump comes off. Now we're on the left tank. Picking up a little bit of turbulence here. So yeah, in terms of planning, let's see, 0503. So we're definitely going to use 3 at 3,000 feet of runway. That's plenty. We'll get down to pattern altitude and pattern altitude. It's sea level, so I'm calling it 1,000 feet. And we'll just do a direct entry into the left downwind for runway 3. And then we'll call it a good flight. So I don't think we're gonna need this. Like I said, I don't. Error. Oh boy, yeah. Let's restart server. Reload UI. I think this might be a little bit hosed at this point. That's okay. What if we reopen it? Let's relaunch it. And this happened to me last night too. I'm not sure why. Oh yeah. All right. It's worked. I'm glad because I want to get my PPL eventually, and it's nice knowing someone want to achieve that. Yeah, man, do it. Oh, just do it. That's the only thing I can say. I mean, just go for a demo flight first, and then just find an instructor that you mesh well with, and just do it. I mean, if it's what you want to do, and you got some cash to do it, or if you want to make some sacrifices, if it's your passion. Here's the thing: life is too short to not do stuff like this if it's really what you want to do. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I've seen some people recently that were otherwise pretty healthy people deteriorate pretty rapidly in terms of health, and opportunities slip away at that point. So not to get all morbid about it and depressing, but man, if it is something you want to do, and you just do it, find a way to do it and do it. Especially if you're, younger in life, just life's too short. Anyway, I'll leave it at that, I think. Let me do one thing. Well, you know what? Okay, now I screwed that up. I was going to restart Bad Sim Radio, but there's no way we're going to get ATC at this juncture, so we'll just leave well enough alone there. Instead, we'll start our descent at 35 miles, and we're going to do that. This doesn't look like clear above 12,000. Well, we're also not to the airport, so maybe it is. Looks like it's kind of clear over there in the distance on our way. So this would be, I guess, kind of the Sandbridge area, maybe, of the Outer Banks. I mean, you can see the Outer Banks, the barrier islands off there to the left. Awesome beaches here, and spent some time here with my family when I was younger, and I think we've taken some trips down here with our kid to Nag's Head. It's a long drive, but it's a, I mean, you could say it's a fairly quick flight. Yeah, I admit, no doubt, man. Just life's too short. That's all I can say. I mean, for me, I did it a little bit later in life, so I had some cash saved up for it. And it was actually my wife that sort of, she kind of threw me out and said, look, you've been talking about this, you need to just go do it, because I'm tired of hearing you talk about it. Instead of talking about it, go do it. So I did. Got my private, didn't take that long, you know, did it nights and weekends. And then got my instrument rating. I mean, immediately after that, I rolled right into instrument training. So, hey man, thanks for watching, Amit. Yeah, catch you next time. Thanks for the kind words, and it was awesome chatting with you. So thank you. And yeah, have a good night, good day, and maybe I'll catch you on the next one. I'm probably going to do one tonight. One of the guys I was chatting with last night on the stream said he was going to be controlling, I think, Atlanta, so I might do like a Miami to Atlanta. It's, probably in the PMD Jeep. So anyway, have a good night, man. Good day. Okay, I'm going to restart Bad Sim Radio here, actually. Yeah, it died. I hate to do this to y'all this close to TOD, but I'm going to start that. Say yes. I'm going to go back here. And then, what did I do? Of course, now there we go. Back in here. Just in case we get a ping. Alright, cool. Alright. So I think what we'll do is yeah, we're 35 miles out, so let's go ahead and pull the power back. Disengage the wing leveler there, our altitude hold, and we'll start a nice descent down at 500 feet per minute. Using power for that. A little bit of trim down. Get down to 1,000 feet. A little bit difficult to trim this airplane, but there we go. There's no what do you call it? There's no vertical speed mode with this autopilot, so we'll just do it by hand here and with power and pitch. Mostly power. Let's power out a little bit more here. Looking good. There's 6,500 for shooting for one. Looking good. Airspeed's building, that's nice. Pick up some free knots. Looking good, 30 miles to go. We're almost at 6, so we want to lose another 5, so that would have been 25 miles out, so we're still good in terms of our poor man's VNAV here, just making sure we're keeping it at least 500 feet per minute. It's enriching the mixture a little bit here. I'm not sure why. See that? I don't know, whatever. Whoa! It's a little excessive there. I want to dive for it. So I've got to remember that this ASI is in knots and not miles an hour. So pattern speeds, I think we're going to want... I fly at 100 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour, 80, and then slowing it down on short final. So I think we'll fly at 90, 80, 70 over the numbers, slowing it down to 65, I guess. Cross the threshold, rather. I think that's about right. I think like approach speed in this aircraft is 90 knots. In mine, it's 100 miles an hour. I think that translates roughly to 90 knots. So if I fly the pattern at 100, 90, 80, meaning 100 downwind, 90 base, 80 final. This might be good at 90 knots downwind, 80 base, 70 final, and then slowing it down to maybe 65 over the crossing the threshold. All right, we're getting close. And that is beautiful. Do a quick outside view, maybe. Beautiful. All right, back inside. There's 5,000. So we need to lose another 20. We're at 24 miles. That's good. I'm actually keeping a little too much forward pressure on this yoke. We can trim off some of that pressure. Pull some of this power out too. Yeah, that's better. Good stuff. 500 feet per minute. Very comfortable for the passengers' ears. There's 4,500 for 1,000. The weather was bang on, man. So let's set the altimeter. It's 3021. And that's right there. All right, I gotta lean in to see that. Yeah, that's pretty good. 3021. There's the moon. A little bumpy, getting lower. That's pretty accurate. Some convection coming up off the ground as it's heating up. Now we're into the, I guess this is about mid-afternoon here. Yeah, almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Ground's getting hot, kicking up. Thermals, convective currents. Did you know now soon WRC Generations game? Oh, you. Yeah, I gotta check out your channel, man. What other stuff do you stream? Oh, nice. Nice. I enjoy watching racing streams for sure. I'm awful at those games and those sims, but I like watching them. Nice. Rally racing, yeah. Not as big here in the US, but man, it's just amazing to watch that stuff. What y'all do. is so dangerous. All right, there's 3,500. Nice, man. You do any flight sim too, or just like racing sim stuff? It's getting bumpy up here. There's 3,000. We got another 2 to go. Yeah, we'll get there in plenty of time. You can see the Outer Banks there. It's like, I guess this would be like Duck and Corolla, stuff like that. Up there's Kitty Hawk, Nag's Head, Kill Devil Hills. And then that island there, I think is called Manteo or Manteo. They've got good seafood there. It's like a fishing fleet that brings fresh fish in there. They cook it up. You can eat it. It's awesome. Ugh. Get a quick drink of this water here. I think this is called the Currituck Sound that we're flying over right now, this bay. There's 2,500 for one. Make a radio call at this point. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is 15 miles to the northwest. I'm going to be entering a left downwind for runway 3 full stop at first flight. We'll just direct enter the downwind. Looking good. There's 2,000. Let's start to pull this power out a little bit. We're kind of trucking in here. Make sure we get enriching. My phone just went off. It's probably my wife texting me. It's alright, we're almost there. Not sure it's this turbulent in real life. I don't have time to check my phone right now, sorry. $1,500 for one. Getting kicked around now. Alright, we're almost at pattern altitude. I'm going to leave the power pretty much where it is. Disengage the autopilot too. Alright, so we're hand flying it. Okay, level off here. Just slow it down. We'll just go mixture full rich. We'll go ahead and turn on the whoa. Turn on the landing light here for some situational awareness. I think I see the airport. They're kind of hard to spot, even in real life, to be honest with you. I don't want to get too low here. So last time I flew here, I shot the approach to, what was that, 2-1? Really bumpy here. All right, I think I see it. Beautiful. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is 5 miles to the northwest. Going to be inbound for the left downwind runway 3 at first flight. It's going to be a full stop. All right. That's it there. Just gonna enter a nice left base. Still not really seeing exactly what the airport. I think I do see it off the nose there. Fuel looks pretty good and balanced. Got another text. Hopefully it's nothing important. Can't talk. Flying. Is that it right there? Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, I think that's it. We'll just go mixture full rich at this point. Yeah, there it is. You can see the monument right there, and the runway should be right there. Alright. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is on a left downwind, runway 3 full stop, first flight. Fuel pump can come on. Yep, there's the runway. We need to widen out our base and slow down a little bit. So we can go gear down. Need to get slowed down here. We can go laps 1. Hard time slowing this airplane down for some reason. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo, left base, runway 3, first flight, full stop. Go prop full forward. This is sloppy. Sorry.
we just blew right through our final. It's alright. Probably be calling for a go around at this point. Yeah, we way overshot final. Ugh. Yuck. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo, final, runway 3, first flight. Where's the airport? Is that it? That's not it, is it? Did we line up with the wrong thing? Oh my gosh. How did we make such a mess out of this? Over here. Unbelievable. Oh boy, that was a ridiculous mess. Where is the airport? Oh my gosh. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is going around. That was dumb. Impossible to see that. It's right there. Alright. Oh, now we know. That was really bad, but did the right thing, went around. Alright, we'll do better next time. Real pilot. Can't see the airport. Alright. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is left crosswind, runway 3, first flight. I can't believe I did that. Unbelievable. Let's try to keep the airport in sight this time. Unbelievable. Sorry about that. I'm glad people had logged off before. I lined up with the wrong thing. I lined up with, was it some water or something? That really was a mess. You're down. Just one. It looked like a tight turn there. Alright. Unbelievable. I lost sight of it again. There's the monument. We'll just look at that. We'll use that as our reference point. Alright, gear down, 3 green, mixtures rich, prop full forward, fuel pump, landing lights are on. Alright. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 is turning left base, runway 3, trying it again, first flight. Oops. Second flaps. Did I just lose it again? I cannot believe that. This should be base. There's the monument. Okay, we got it this time. 80 knots on base, that's good. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 Romeo is turning final, runway 3, first flight. Yep, we got it. I lined up with, like, it was like a canal or something. It looked like a runway in the distance. That was just really stupid. Alright, gears down. Red, blue, green. First flight traffic, Aero 1202 is final, runway 3, full stop, first flight. Seems to be a little bit of a crosswind here. Oh man, it is really bumpy. This is not very realistic now all of a sudden. Speed's looking pretty good. We're a little bit low. Come on. Looking at the end of the runway. We're landing a little long. It's alright. There goes my VR controller. Just hit the floor. And we smashed it down. Alright. Good enough. That was ugly. That was ugly. My VR controller just hit the office floor there. Alright, we'll just turn it around here on the runway. And first flight traffic, Aero 1202 is going to be taxiing back runway 21, first flight. Thanks, Amit. Appreciate it. Yeah, sorry about that landing. And sorry about the go around there, but hey, rather go around than plant it in the trees. I'm sorry, I dropped my VR controller. This airport is not that hard to spot in real life. Oh, sorry, man. Thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is awesome. I hope you enjoy it. I just kind of do this for fun, so hopefully you enjoy the VR content. And sorry about the botched procedure there at the end, but it's happened to me before where I've, you land in an airport that's kind of cut into a forest and it's small. If you're not lined up with the runway, I've had to do it. I did it at Jamestown, Williamsburg, KJGG. Check it out. Now that's pretty much what it looks like. There's a little building there where you can go in. There's bathrooms and there's a your coffee spilled. Sorry, man. Yeah, I'm not parking there. No, guy wants us to park there. There are no marshalers here at First Flight. That is kind of spot on. That building is there in real life. There's a place where you can go in and like I said, there's a bathroom and you can. There's internet in there. I think there's Wi-Fi. There's a little couch, like a little lounge area, where you can go and kind of relax before you go tour the monument. Sorry, man. Sad for you. Yeah, I know. Sorry, it was not my best work. Cool. Let's shut it down. So go. Avionics can come off at this point. Make sure avionics are off before we shut down. Mixture is. Whoops. I don't know why it does that. My mixture axis is screwed up or something. All right, master off, mags off. We're here. Welcome to First Flight. Let's try MSFS too much control, and then I left playing it. Yeah, the ground effect. I mean, just to put it frankly, it sucks. Like that was not realistic. But it's almost like. It's almost like there's just a constant wind, almost wind shear, and then ground effect, just it changes on you. So that's not realistic, but it's all good. Let's go. I'm going to take a look here real quick. I'm going to pop out. I want to see what this looks like. So that's pretty cool. So that's real. The monument is a little taller. There's a road that definitely goes around it like this. So that's kind of cool. With parking spots, you can climb up there. That's the Wright brothers memorial there. That's right on. Check it out. They even have it's all modeled. Hey, that's awesome. That's pretty epic. They definitely have that modeled right. Wow. There's all kinds of kids and stuff climbing all over it. And here. Is it right here? This is where they have the, there's markers that tell you, how far. No, it's up here. It's right up here. So that museum doesn't look anything at all like that. It looks, it's like a one-story museum. And this, so they modeled the shack, like the shop where they would do the repairs on the engine, the Wright brothers, and I forget the guy's name who worked on the engine. And then some local people from the life-saving station would help sort of put initially the gliders and then eventually the Wright Flyer together. And then this is where you can see it's not modeled, but this track right here shows how far each flight was. So they started there, and then each of the, I think, 3 flights that day or that week, that year, in 1903, December, went all the way to here. So that's pretty accurate. That's pretty cool. Sorry about this if it makes you dizzy. But yeah, this museum is not, it doesn't look at all like that. It's like a flat building. But yeah, that's pretty epic, man. Cool. Who needs a plane? You can fly like this and see monuments. Yeah, that's a good point. I've never actually done this a lot, but it's kind of cool. And you can see there's Kitty Hawk and Nag's Head and Cape Hatteras. And then down here is our beautiful Piper Arrow. Whoops. Sitting on the ramp at the first flight. So that's kind of cool, I think. Oops, I can't control it. Sorry, it's probably making everybody sick. But yeah. Well, anyway, hey, thanks for watching and subscribing and liking and all that stuff. And this was a lot of fun. And yeah, I think I'll do another one tonight, probably in the PMDG or something like that. Maybe take a big airplane up and see if I can do better than that, the approach and landing, and maybe actually see the runway. So anyway, yeah, Mitt, WRC, you guys, thanks a lot for watching, and hope you all have a great day, great night. And yeah, see you later. All right, bye.